sure was trippy, wasn't it? I needed to find some way to point out that I finally got done all the main digging. Yes, that's right. There shouldn't be any more digging left to do, except maybe in a couple of spots where I want to, deal with this big flat spot here at the bottom. I'm so lots more. You can tell where I stopped detailing, right? You can kind of tell where I got sick of detailing and just stopped. Right around there somewhere. Also see you got a whole bunch of some new pathways in. Get you all the way down to the bottom. This one comes off here, gets the second level. Don't have a way down to the third one there yet. Didn't quite think that far through, and by the time I thought about building another ramp, like the idea that you'd come down straight down here, right down, 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 down. I didn't know where to put the last one. Didn't think far enough ahead on that. This one here will take you all the way up though. Right, so whatever workers they had, drag stuff over here and all the way up and loop around and off to whatever else someone else was building. I also never noticed that I left that out there. That was the edge of forest clearing. I hadn't quite figured out what I was going to do, and I'd let Mantis dig out just a whole great big swath from out here, there, down. Took every tree, right? It came across here and like that, until it dawned on me that I didn't need to hack up quite that much of the terrain. It left me this nice little spot to put a causeway, built a jungle wall back up. It's obviously not as perfect as like virgin jungle. It's takes a lot of work to make something look like you haven't done anything to it. Anyway, I need to do some work on the floor over here today, without dying. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, those are slime chunks. And because the floor of this thing is sitting at about Y30, if I don't do anything with them, they will spawn slimes. Constantly. Because I've got so much of the rest of the area lit up underneath. Not as much like way over on the sides there. That was me trying to tell Griff not to sleep. I think he's AFK. Yeah, if I don't do anything about them, they will spawn slimes just non-stop. Which becomes a bit of a problem when I want to have, grass and things like that down there. And I don't need the mobs. Don't need you guys either. So I'm going to head back up here. Because once I get back up here, things will despawn. Now let stuff despawn and I'll come right back down and I'll see you then. Alright, down on the floor. Everything's despawned. Had to move my cats down. I took this entire... the entire pillar out. Right? Right over here. This one that gets right down into the base. This is still the one that stops at the bottom of kind of the work area. Got a tree farm in there too now. So I can't come straight up out of the base up top anymore. But I had to because I want to preserve that tree. That tree is the only tree that's survived all of this. And I need to incorporate it into something just to commemorate the fact that that's the tree I've been climbing up since I started the project. It's going to be some kind of... It's going to be a big tree, is what it's going to be. It's going to be incorporated into a much larger tree. Probably with something... I'm not quite sure what kind of base. Give me kind of the idea that as they chipped this out, they ran into this gigantic tree with its roots going way down and over top of some kind of rock that was too difficult to cut. So they just didn't. They just mined out around the tree, and the roots will come down and spread out a little bit and disappear into the ground. I'm not sure exactly what to use for that yet. I don't want obsidian because that would imply that this was a volcano or something. And then why would you wouldn't gouge out a volcano? You would gouge out a spot that was full of worthwhile rocks. I'm gonna have to wait and see. It's probably gonna be one of those wait till the next till the 113 comes out, so we get a texture pack with a few more interesting blocks. Speaking of texture packs, finally got around to the second version of the Mojang one, and all of a sudden, all my andesite is purple. The granite looks even worse. I was okay with like the heavily pixelated texture, but this looks like pasta puke. That's what it looks like. Pasta puke. A big old block of pasta puke. Okay, fired back a whole bunch of spaghetti with a lot of tomato sauce, and washed it down with something else that was red, and went bah! And unfortunately, I've gone and added it to the whole build. I wanted some rock layers in here just to break up the walls, because rock form. If you don't know anything about rocks or geography, or if you don't know anything about the way the ground was laid down, you wouldn't know about rock layers. I'm not going to go into that. Stratigraphy is something that kind of interests me, but I have a feeling it would bore the tar out of everyone else. Anyway, it's there because there are layers of rock in the planet. So we're going to take this slime chunk. I'll have to denude it of all the protective slabs. And render this. Well, actually, before I do that, let's make sure I remind myself the borders of this thing. That way I don't forget where the edges are. We're going to render this spawn proof by making it into a water feature. A nice lake. Some swampy stuff. Don't have a whole lot of... Not a lot. Well, it's either going to have to be water or... What else do things spawn on? Path blocks? I don't have a need for path blocks down here. So water, leaves, slabs. I can use cobblestone slabs to look like little piles of rock. I can use... Yeah, that's kind of it, isn't it? Because the last thing I want is this thing to sit there and make slimes the whole time I'm doing something. I'll think of it while I'm hacking it out. And we're going to use... Let's grab some of my handy dandy boxes of stuff here. In order to make things look nice and random, use some of this stuff right here. Just give us a nice random outline to work with, so I don't have to worry about trying to make something fake look natural. Alright, and random in 3, 2, a couple didn't go off. That looks random enough, right? This would also have to be down, blew up some coal. I've also got to come down, make a bottom for, that's nice. A bottom out of cobble and granite, and not granite, gravel. A bit of mossy cobble. Moss stone, because we can't call it mossy cobble no more. Should have a whole bunch of cobble in my inventory. It's got a little bit of decorative stuff here with a half a stack of podzol I found in one of Angel's chests. And I'm really happy that there was still some lying around out there somewhere. Just out in the wild for me to find. It was great. I was so happy to find some. I thought it was all gone. Don't tell him I took it. Gonna bust out a bit more of this here. This gives us an outline, right? So a bit of an outline for some kind of big lake. And then probably... No, we'll just go with a lake. I'll go with a lake. I'll have it disappear through a hole in the wall over there, I think. So we'll kind of pool up here and then disappear into a cave. I'm going to go around a corner and we won't see it anymore. On top of that, I will have to bring a bed over here because every time you want to do something, it's always night. Do you mind? I'm blowing things up out here. Right, not sharpness 5 yet. Gotta work on that. Anything else? You'll despawn. Here you are trying to go out and do something, and everything's got to get in your way, I tell you. So here's the first layer of cutting away. It's still fairly obvious it's a chunk. There's no real way of getting around that. I've got straight edges here, kind of straight edges there. Broke the boundaries of the chunk in a few spots to help out a bit. Then I remembered that this runs into a hole over there, so I don't have to worry about that part. We just need to disguise a bit more of this, and a bunch of that's going to wind up being things like, leaves. So we've got leaves over one of these. Here we are. Some oak, just oak. Oh, thought I had some jungle leaves. Unfortunately, stuff grows on sugarcane too, so we won't be able to use that. So as it stands, I think this is the edge of the chunk. So we're good there, but we'll have to come in a bit here to fake out that a bit. I think I'll get rid of this ugly granite, or andesite. Not a fan of the purple, gonna say it. Not a fan. We're gonna try to build like a fake tree here. And with a little bit of buried light here in the corner. Just so the place has something to look kind of nice at night. Like this. A few more leaves, bit of that. That'll kind of glow. Keep monsters out of the corner here. When it turns night, like it is now. I gotta tell you. The day, I know it's 10 minutes to do a day, or 20 minutes to a day. It's 10 minutes a day light, 10 minutes a night. Why does the day only seem like it's 8.5 minutes long? Well, we got a bit of company. Things are starting to burn. I don't think either of those guys are going to wander over here. Although I do actually want... I'm going to kill these guys because I want some string. Die. Die. There. Get rid of... Tell you what. You, come here. Haha, sucker. All the way over here. Come here, cat. You sit right there. That way no one blows me up in my... Off for real. And another thing it does in this server a lot. Rain. Well, I'm going to throw some grass blocks around here in a bit more disguise. And I guess I'm not doing it. I'm not recording while I do it. Dang it. That's so pretty when it works like that. Knock these out. Knock those out. We'll leave this as a reminder that there was some rock here at one point. And there we go. One lake, minus a few more needed details. But we got it all. She's all spawn. Let's see here. F3G. One spot over here that needs something. Needs a pile of rubble. That's what it needs. You're good. You're good. You're out. You're covered. redstone doesn't need to be here. And you, what do we do with you? I know what we do. We do this. We might get some little bitty ones, but at least these won't grow wild now. That ought to do it. I don't think we got any other spawnable spots inside here. So leaves, slab, that's string. Alright, cool. Well, that's one slime chunk down. Several more to go. Up to here. Yeah, I think I need a bit more green over there. If I have... We'll throw a real tree in over here, I think. Should have a real tree. Should have a jungle sapling, and coming up on the last of my bone meal. There we go. Let's put, will you grow one? Yes. Oh, and it's a nice, interesting height, too. That, there. Grab a lily pad. These blue flowers nobody seems to like, which I've never quite understood. I think they're pretty. A couple of these down in the spots where the water doesn't move so much. Because the water would come around here, right? And then flow that way. So spots like here in the corners would have no... The water wouldn't flow there, so it would give lily pads a chance to grow there. That covers out quite nicely, I think. It's not too terrible. Do I have a few more of these? Can't grow one there. You don't get 3 tall. Right here, do I have another spot? Nope, I'm out of spots on the water. Let's break you down. Yeah, I think that works. I think that covers it up. Depression in the ground, got some gravel on the bottom. Mossy cobble. This flows down and goes that way. Cool. So I think what to do with the rest. I think that big one over there is going to be like an abandoned stockpile building. And I'm going to fill it with a bunch of the chests from downstairs for people who are working in this area and need stone. Probably just going to be Gexu. Although I do intend to build a couple more things around here. I have to build a few more things around here, right? But that way, if anyone wants to come by and get stone, there'll be an obvious building with a bunch of chests inside of it. They can go and grab some. Those 2 spots, I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. I'm mostly just happy that I shouldn't have to dig anymore. There, and hopefully it won't be quite so long between this episode and the next. I'll have something else to show you. Ooh, that's a neat. It's a neat way that cuts through. Doesn't that look cool? Where's my other one? Right there? I can't even see it. But from over here, that one looks pretty neat, doesn't it? Alright, I will let you guys go. I got a bunch of work to do here, but I will see you in the future.